What's the most money you've generated with your business?
8.
8 figures?
Yeah.
We're now worth £2 million.
Over £7 million.
If you were to start again, how would you make your first million?
Essentially,
Is there a secret website to find $1 million opportunities?
There is a website which holds.
As a £1 million accountant, what are the most profitable industries that you've seen?
So
there's £2 million profit in it, and I haven't had to put a penny in.
Yo, my people, welcome back to The Venture, the #1 platform for Spanish entrepreneurs. Today, we're in Kensington High Street, one of the wealthiest parts of London. What are we doing today, bro?
Today we're asking business owners how they made their millions and the biggest business opportunity for you. Stay tuned, it's gonna be a banger.
Yes, guys, so we're out here on Kensington High Street, our old stomping ground. It's a bit hit and miss here, isn't it? It's 50-50. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, but hopefully today's good. And hopefully it doesn't rain, so yeah, let's keep going. Excuse me, sorry to disturb you. Can I ask you what you do for a living? Cold. That one hurt a little bit, a tiny bit. Sorry to disturb you. We're trying to inspire the next generation for our YouTube channel. Can I ask you what you do?
I'm not interested in YouTube at all. It's a total waste of time.
Really, why?
Because it's a total waste of time. Do something useful with your life.
We're trying to inspire the next generation.
Yeah.
But my advice would be actually just have a lot of fun,
Yeah.
and be cheerful. Because if you're a happy person, you'll be a successful person.
Love that. What's your name?
Nick.
I'm Jamal, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
Thank you, man. Yes, guys, so we just started on the high street, yeah? We bumped into this guy, he looked quite a successful older gentleman, and he was like, we're like, hey, what do you do for a living? He's like, no, I don't get involved in this bullshit. YouTube's a waste of time, and completely crashed our interview. And you're gonna find people like that that are quite negative and have a certain perspective on things. Don't let that knock you, man. We interviewed his friend who was very happy to speak to us. So yeah, man, these are hurdles you have to go through.
Try and get this woman in yellow. Hopefully she's a business owner. Excuse me, I love your outfit. Want to know, what do you do for a living?
I have a leather belts company.
Really?
Yeah.
And then how long have you been building your company for?
5 years now.
And then where's your company based?
It's in Brazil.
Brazil, tudo bem?
Yeah, tudo bom, e você?
What's the most money you've generated with your business?
8.
8 figures?
Yeah.
That's incredible. How much money did you start with then for your business?
£2,000.
What's the secret to sales?
I think everyone has to offer quality and price. And if you go and find the right people, for sure.
What's one thing rich people know that poor people don't?
Listen, forget about kind of work hard. You have to find a good product and you have to find the right people. Use more, much more your brain and the power of your imagination. For sure you get there. That's a dream because imagination, everything. For example, your microphone, the camera, my clothes, everything was first of all was an imagination. Someone thought about and then they create. So all the world is about creation.
Yeah.
So I'm a dreamer.
Yeah?
I dream when I sleep and I'm a dreamer when I wake up as well.
Love that, guys.
Okay.
And what's your business name? Is it the same
Arte
thing?
Encodo.
Thank you so much. Really sick interview with Eliani. She's doing really well. She's doing 8 figures in her business. And one thing that she said to me was everything is an idea. What matters though is taking an idea to execution. Make sure you do things with the thoughts that you have. So yeah, let's keep going. Yeah, man, it's been a good day so far. Had some really, really good interviews. Can't lie, we interview people from all around the world. We just had a Brazilian entrepreneur, like, what? Got a McLaren over here, boy. Excuse me. Love the car, man. Can I ask, what do you do for a living to be able to afford a McLaren?
I work in real estate. I help high net worth individuals acquire and dispose of large assets in prime central London.
Do you mind if we ask you some questions outside of the car quickly?
Yeah.
Is that right? What's the most money you've made in a year?
1.2 million.
And then how much money did you start out with before you launched your business?
I started with nothing. Absolutely nothing. Straight out of university. I worked 3 months for an estate agency. And then I thought, hey, I can do this myself. It was very hard for the first 2 or 3 years. So I sold my first block, residential block on Pond Street in Knightsbridge.
Okay.
Since then, I only concentrate on large freehold buildings.
Why did you pick large freehold buildings out of everything else?
So my job is essentially putting together a property transaction. I introduce a buyer and a seller. It's the same if you're selling a studio apartment or a 80 apartment building. Almost the same. It's a bit more complex. So I concentrate on doing larger deals. I essentially accrue more money for doing a deal rather than doing several small deals.
Yeah.
I tend to do about 3 or 4 deals a year. That's my target.
If you were to start again, how would you make your first million?
You essentially try to buy a property at a very good price and you get the contract for that property. But before the point of exchanging contracts with the seller, you might be able to find someone who's willing to pay more than you are willing to pay for that property. And then you can simply sell him that contract. I can give you a quick example if you want. If there's like a £20 million building, the owner wants 20 million, I say, look, I can buy for 17.
Yeah.
But I can move very quickly, etc. So he said, okay, fine, let's start the legal process. So there should be a contract for 17 million. At that point, I go through my network and I find someone who's willing to pay 19 million for it. But he's got to be happy to pay 19. It's got to stack up. If he says, okay, I'll pay 19 for it, essentially I sell him my piece of paper for 19 million, but I've only had to pay 17 for it. So there's £2 million profit in it. And I haven't had to put a penny in.
What's the biggest opportunity in the property space?
I'm seeing a massive increase in demand for what we call serviced apartments. So that sort of bridges the gap between a normal residential apartment rental and a hotel. So London attracts people all the time, tourists, business people, etc., etc. I find it like this. I look at who are my buyers at the moment. A lot of my buyers are asking me for serviced apartment opportunities, not a single apartment to go at Airbnb, like buy a whole building with a proper classification of, we call it C1, it's like serviced apartment stroke hotels. You've got like 15 apartments in there and you run it well, you make much more return than if you bought 15 normal apartments. And then once you've got one building, you can go and look at acquiring a few more and build a portfolio of it.
Thank you so much for your advice today, man. It's been really, really insightful. Sick interview, guys, with Kumaran. Love the McLaren as well. Biggest opportunity for me, or biggest takeaway, is securing contracts and then selling it on for more without putting any money in yourself. You can make loads of money from it, but you have to build up your network. But yeah, let's see who else we can speak to today. What do you do for a living? That's what you do for a living?
That's okay.
Excuse me, can I ask what you do for a living? We're trying to inspire the next generation. But I can't lie, the rejections where you say, where you get a no, those are cool. Rejections where they just look at you and like, don't say anything. Is what it is, man. It is what it is. Yeah, word. Excuse me, love the outfit. We're trying to inspire the next generation. What do you do for a living?
In real estate.
Is it your own business?
Yes.
How did you start out?
Selling houses, working for somebody else.
Okay. And then do you remember how much money you started with when you started the business?
Nothing.
Most money you've made in real estate?
Many, many millions in terms of the size of individual deals.
And if you were to start again, how would you make your first million?
The reality is, if you offer value, then people will engage with you. In my experiences, if you get known to bring a lot of value, then it's almost limitless. Because if you put the effort into learning, there's stuff that your generation now is teaching me that I get so excited about it. I'm literally aggressively studying AI.
Really?
Right? Aggressively studying it. Because I won't be replaced by AI. My company won't be replaced by AI. But people will be replaced by people that know how to use AI. And companies will be replaced by companies that know how to use AI. And that's new to me. I'm getting coached and educated on building personal brand. Here's probably the biggest thing I've learned, right? Understand whether you're speculating or investing, because there is a huge difference. Most people think that they are investing, when the reality is they're speculating.
What's the framework you use to decide that?
I went old school, Benjamin Graham and The Intelligent Investor. Read that book over and over. Read Snowball from Warren Buffett. He seems pretty good at investing. And for me, that's been a really, really good lesson. Just to say, there's no one that can tell me they're investing in Bitcoin. You can't be investing in Bitcoin. That is speculation. And if you want to have a go at that, that's absolutely great. But just be really careful what proportion of your wealth you're putting into that, because you don't know.
Thank you, man. Where can people find you?
I'm Ben Taylor RE on Instagram, so easy to find me there. Our brand is Fortuna & Co.
Thank you so much.
Quick on, guys, if you're someone that works from home or runs a business on the move like I do, keeping your internet secure is non-negotiable. I'm constantly working from cafes, co-working spaces, or editing on the hotel Wi-Fi. And that's exactly what I use NordVPN, the multi-award-winning VPN with lightning-fast connection speeds and premium cybersecurity. It gives you peace of mind knowing my connection is encrypted and my business data is safe no matter where I am.
Plus, it gives me access to global tools and content that isn't always available in the UK, which is super helpful when I'm working with clients or researching markets abroad. So if you're building something big and want to protect your business data online, use the link in the description or the code Ventrum and you'll get an extra 4 months free on the 2-year plan. And guess what? If it's not for you, that's cool. You get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so it's completely risk-free. Now, let's continue the video.
Can I ask you what you do for a living?
I'm an accountant. I actually own quite a large accounting firm.
How long have you been doing it?
I've been an accountant for 10 years, but I became self-employed on the dining room table 4 years ago, and we're now worth £2 million.
Oh my God. So you've got a lot of high net worth clients. What is the one secret that you teach them about tax exposure?
HMRC don't care.
Okay.
HMRC do not care what you are claiming as an expense. So if we're talking about an OnlyFans client expensing a boob job is the same as a plumber investing in a van.
Yeah.
My job is to help the math and make it make sense and work with my governing bodies and HMRC for the client to make sure we're delivering a great result.
It's justifying it. If you can justify it, you can get it.
100%.
As a £1 million accountant, what are the most profitable industries that you've seen?
So nursing care, domiciliary care, residential care have the highest margins, the highest consistency. It's never going to be replaced by AI. You can systemize, document, you can build a blueprint to make sure you're ranking really highly, you're building networks within the community. But the profit margins, the consistency and the irreplaceability of care in the UK, that's what I do.
Oh my God, that's a sick one. You have to start again. How would you make your first million?
So if I start again tomorrow, I would launch an AI agency. I would be teaching founders and business owners how to implement and systemize AI functionality into their business. It's something that everybody wants to do, but not every accounting firm, as an example, has a CTO that can help them implement and build deep AI into their business, which gets my team answering client questions that they've answered before in the same way, in my tone of voice with my values and my processes, and so gives us the opportunity to do really values-based pricing as well. I'm not pricing for my time, I'm actually pricing for the impact and the money that I can save people.
What's the one thing the rich know that the poor don't about like wealth creation?
Wealthy people, from the first day of their lives, they're building balance sheets rather than a P&L. P&L is time and money, and you're constantly like arguing between the two. Wealthy people build balance sheets, they're talking about investments, they are creating wealth that delivers more wealth while they're asleep. And so a good book recommendation is Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which literally explains the concept of lessons you'll be taught if you have a poor dad and lessons you'll be taught if you have a rich dad, and it changed my life.
I love that. Where can they find you?
So I'd love for you guys to find me. You can find me everywhere that you consume content at accountant_she.
Guys, go check her out. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, guys, sick interview with accountant she. Go check her out. So one thing that stood out to me, biggest opportunity today is potentially looking at care. Apparently it's one of the most profitable businesses and very unlikely to be kind of disrupted by AI. Should be around for a long time. More gems to get. Let's go. Guys, so in the comments below, let us know what business you're doing, what stage you're at, and what you need to get to the next level. We'd love to help you and also help with each other. Let's get some networking done. Let's go. Excuse me, man. Sorry to disturb you. I love the shirt. I'd love to know, what do you do for a living?
I'm an entrepreneur.
Are you an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I am.
Hey. What business do you do?
I'm in private healthcare most of the time.
What's the most money you've made in a year, or the turnover?
Over £7 million.
Oh, congrats, man.
So I started as a bicycle courier. I was broke, living on the floor. There was a time when I was actually homeless. I was living on the squat in Old Street in East London, in EC1. Moved over to the company where I was a courier for. I learned a little bit about logistics because that was the background. And then I left the company in 2017. I opened my own logistic company.
If you had to start again, how would you make your first million?
So with my experience, I would probably start working with the tech companies, particularly in AI. Loads of founders, especially in tech, they have very little experience in business sales and business development, right? So if you have some experience in that field, you would definitely contact people with AI startups and say, guys, how about I'll help you grow business, so you do the tech. Founders are very passionate about the tech.
How could you find an opportunity like that?
I would go on X and see all these people bragging about how amazing piece of software they build. Especially nowadays, like these people building games with ChatGPT or something.
Yeah.
Go to these guys because they can't sell, but they can code. They're very smart when it comes to this.
How do you find $1 million idea?
I look for problems and complaints. You can go to Amazon or Reddit and see what people hate, or find a product you like and go to comments and find the 1-star comments and read them. Because if you improve it, you make that 1-star 4-star and you have a customer.
Is there one book every entrepreneur has to read to become successful?
Oh yeah, absolutely. My all-time favorite is called How to Get Rich.
Yeah.
And it's written by Felix Dennis.
Is there one extract or framework that you can remember from the book?
Ownership. You have to own business. The most wealthy people own businesses. Money in your bank account is important, but it's a short term. Long term, equity in a business. That's the way to go.
Love that, man. Where can they find you? What's your Instagram?
I use LinkedIn and X.
Okay. What's your name?
It's Alex Landowski.
Thank you, man.
Cheers.
Yes, guys, sick interview with Alex. He went from homeless to 7 million. Crazy, man, super inspirational. So my biggest takeaway was, in terms of finding that $1 million idea, look at reviews. You can look at 1-star reviews online. You can look at Reddit. Reddit's a great place to find complaints. Complaints means problems, problem needs solutions, and solutions mean money. So yeah, man, let's keep going. Excuse me, sorry to disturb you, man. Super random. Can I ask you what you do for a living?
I'm a business owner.
Yeah. What business do you do?
So I'm the founder of a soft drinks business called Chulo Drinks.
What's the most money you've made in a year?
Turnover is kind of between $500,000 and $1 million.
Nice. And how much money did you have and what was your first job?
So my first job was like a lifeguard at a swimming pool, and then I joined the Navy at 18, and when I was in the Navy I lived in Japan for 10 months, and so whilst I was there I was drinking these like gin and tonic style drinks called a chuhai, which is like a sour fizzy cocktail sort of thing. Yeah. And so when I came home I wanted that same kind of sour fizz but without the alcohol, and I was looking around at the soft drink sector, and again it was like an old crusty sector that just needed a bit of a shake up, and came up with Chulo as a non-alcoholic version. Yeah. And we've actually got interest to ship it back to Japan as like no alternative. So like we work a lot with like Japanese embassy and like British embassy, and like we get a lot of advice from them.
If you had to start again, how would you make your first million?
Buy a business from a boomer. So you've got 1 in 3 businesses in the UK are owned by people that are over 55. Okay. In the next 10 years they're going to change hands, all right? So that is like millions and millions and millions of pounds left on the table.
So how would you find one of those businesses, the baby boomer businesses?
A couple of websites, really massive one in America called Buy Biz Sell, but there are UK equivalents, but you can shorten it by like industry, amount, turnover, revenue, everything. Yeah. But actually, if you just went to your high street and you saw like some crusty, dusty shop and you went in there like a laundrette and you said how much for your business, it would be an interesting conversation, because these people are tired. They just want to retire and they want them to know that their shop's in good hands. And you could do like a staged buyout over like a couple of years. You revamp the website, you put some fresh furnishing, and you're done. Man.
Is there a secret website to find $1 million opportunities?
There is a government website which holds all the government contracts that are live, and this covers things like graphic design, photography, like catering, and it's national. Okay, so if you're in like a smaller industry, the UK government is looking after small, medium enterprises, and they definitely want more contracts for the government to come through small businesses. If you just search government contracts, small, medium enterprise, then you'll get a list and you can filter it by how much it is and everything. But they are definitely trying to give a leg up to small businesses, because ultimately we employ people, we pay our taxes. Yeah. Google. Yeah, we pay our taxes and like we're just out to build an economy, and we just want to make life better for ourselves. So.
Nice to meet you. Yes, guys, sick interview with Steph, founder of Chulo, which is a pretty cool drink. So my biggest takeaway was, if you're looking to make your first million, consider buying a business from a baby boomer. We've heard this before, and it seems to be a growing trend. They're looking to offset their business and sell their businesses, probably quite cheaply. Cash flows is obviously running for quite a few years. Could be an easy way to make your first million. Yes, guys, wraps up another banging episode on Kensington High Street. My biggest takeaway was, an opportunity in real estate is contract flipping. So you're securing the contract on a property or a site, and you're selling on for a higher price. What about you, bro?
Mine is look for problems in comment sections and reviews. 1-star reviews show problems. Problems, you can create solutions. If you can create a solution, you've got a business. So yeah, guys, let us know your favorite interview and stay tuned for the next one.